So we can start now officially. Yeah.
Great.
So I want to use this time out to welcome everyone to Crypto Attack, and today we have our guest, Mr. Andy, who will be giving us some very vital answers to the questions that we'll be asking regarding the project. Do well to check, the Telegram community. Go over to Crypto Attack, and you would find the announcement has been pinned in the community. So do make sure to check it out. And we have our guest, Mr. Andy, who will be giving us some very good information about AlterVerse and
Yeah.
also breaking down some of the major questions that will be coming from our minds and from our research in the website. So also do well to check the website, join the Telegram, follow them on Twitter, and also to keep you up to speed with all the latest updates. So we would be giving the spotlight now to Mr. Andy to give a very good introduction of himself and also, his background and tell us about your experience in the blockchain.
Thanks. Well, really, thank you so much for having me today, Tim. Hi, I'm Andy. I'm a Web3 advisor. I'm CMO. Sorry. Let me restart that. Sorry, just blow my head off. So, I'm Andy, CMO of AlterVerse. It's a project that a lot of people have probably heard about by now. It's been around for a good part of a decade. I've been building the GameFi AlterVerse over the last few years now. Probably over the last 2 years, I've been a contributor to the network. I haven't. People have probably heard about by now. It's been around for a good part of a decade. As I've been building the game. It's sort of the background and the GameFi aspect and the Web3 aspect of it in community building and engaging. I was a member of the community and I knew the founders, and there's a really good prospect back in the day. So I was very much fascinated by the metaverse and the AlterVerse. So I've been in the industry for about 6-7 years now, and in that time I've been mostly focusing on. I've been in Bitcoin. I kind of got in that way, and Dogecoin was part of the Dogecoin movement, and then I kind of fell into GameFi and play during the play to earn wave as well. So I was part of a lot of walk to earn and fitness to earn type gamify experiences. This was before I was with AlterVerse, and so big advocate for Web3 overall. Really excited to introduce AlterVerse to you guys today. It's a fantastic platform with Web3 at its backbone, building 1 million games in Web3. That's our biggest goal, is that we want to build a platform so that anyone can engage with and build games. And we're starting to work with some really fantastic game studios, and we're backed by Binance Labs and Polygon Ventures and Gate. So things are very exciting for AlterVerse, and we're really excited to be here today. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here. Absolutely awesome, by the way. And it's nice to know you guys have a very decent background and have some technical teams actually working towards the development of AlterVerse. So let's get to the business of the day now and get to understand what the project is all about. So could you tell us in a nutshell what
Yeah.
AlterVerse is and how users can earn from it?
Uh, yeah, really good. The entire gaming industry is exploding. We are riding that wave up. So we've created a platform where people can develop games. We are proficient at Unreal Engine 5, Web3 Unreal Engine 5, and we have our own metaverse with our partners very present in that metaverse. They have their own architecture and their own buildings. So we do have that aspect. But another aspect is that we're very much exploring several niche chains and niche gaming elements in the Web3 space. So we are focusing on the Unreal Engine 5 development, but we're also looking at other development angles as well, because we're very closely looking at Telegram gaming as well. So we're having a diverse. I mean, that is the nature of the AlterVerse, is the fact that it's a diverse place filled with very different gaming projects for the different needs of other people. So part of the earning, what we're doing right now is that we're doing a node sale where people can get daily rewards. This is part of the way that people can be an early contributor to the Web3 project AlterVerse, and they can be an early contributor, but also if they're not looking to actually purchase the nodes, they can actually help, they can engage with AlterVerse, build games on the AlterVerse, and they will utilize the AlterVerse and leverage the network that AlterVerse has, being backed by Binance Labs and Polygon Ventures. So we've got very strong backing, a very strong community, and a strong team. So if they're looking to leverage that so they can actually get their games out there as well, we're also looking to do to be a part of that. And that's due to our intrinsically Web3 nature. We've got several partnerships lined up, and yeah, I mean, I'm going to spend all day talking about it. So yeah, maybe we should fire up with some questions.
All right, thank you. So you did mention the fact that you're going to be creating a lot of opportunities for, especially the users of the project, those who are members. So what are some of those opportunities that you have currently that you're currently making available for the users to get into the competition and earn some rewards?
Yeah, we're pretty heavy on the airdropping. We're very heavy on making sure that we're building an organic community of people enjoying what we're doing. The idea really is to the fact of the matter is that the marketing industry, the whole market is quite scattered and diverse at the moment. There's several little pockets of communities, and so that's kind of our concept. Is that's why we're really priding ourselves in our aspect to create multiple different games with 4 different desires and different aspects, especially in the Web3 space. So and the way in which we're kind of putting that into those different communities. So really a lot of ways there that we're engaging. So yeah, I'm just wondering, can you still see the video?
Yeah, I can see the video. It's
Oh,
clear.
excellent. Yeah. Okay. Great. Everything's clear. So, and yeah, and we're also going to be. We actually do have a early adopters OG program set up. So I'm trying to hold back my excitement right now. But we have OG status available for people looking to become an OG in the Ultiverse, and we all know that's pretty cool. So thank you so much. Yeah, that's what we got going on.
Yeah. So good stuff. So what
And
does
yeah,
it
and we're
also
also going to
take,
be.
to get
We
to that
actually do have
level?
a
Is there a certain
early
because
adopters
we're going to be talking about the token very
OG
soon. So what does it
program set
actually
up.
take
So I'm trying
to
to
actually
hold back my
get to that
excitement right
level of
now.
the OG?
But we have OG. So we do have some select questions, but generally it's just to get a gauge on, if it's something that you really want to do. You know, at the end of the day, like anything, with any project, it's a matter of do you respect the vision of that project? Are you looking at that project and seeing that's got a potential? Has that got room to grow? Has it got scalability? Has it got options? We're pretty confident in the gaming, GameFi, video games industry. We're pretty confident in Web3 gaming. I often think about it, and the logic is there. It just all makes sense. Gaming is about to really blow, and it's going to be one of the major aspects of the future. So it's really important that it's not just gaming; it's entertainment. It's entertainment. And so where if you're looking at projects and you'll be able to understand why they're doing what they're doing, then I think that if you get part of that project early, you're going to reap the benefits of being an early adopter. You're going to be knowing about the project and what's going on. You're going to be keeping tabs with it. We'll be sending alphas and updates, and you'll be the first to know when anything changes and updates and upgrades. So there's some really great perks to that because information is key in this industry, and we're going to be making a lot of moves in the future as we've been doing for the last decade, and we're going to continue doing so. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, so thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, now I can. Brilliant.
All right. All right, cool. So, you talked about scalability, and that is absolutely vital when it comes to, bringing in or sort of bringing some smoothness into the transactions that goes into the website itself. So, at the pinnacle level, when
On and
the project begins to, yeah,
you mean on the game itself, right? Because the website's the website, but we have the games as well. But yeah, there's interoperability within the games. Sorry, yeah. Please continue.
yeah. So I was talking about scalability. So what happens? How do you manage the website, especially when you have a large number of users coming into the website and transactions?
Oh, through the website. Sorry. So okay, so it's actually really straightforward. Really, it's all going directly because we have affiliations. Obviously, it's on Binance Smart Chain at the moment. So we're using Binance Smart Chain. As you guys know, we're backed by Binance Labs. So essentially, it's extremely smooth. As we know, Binance is a pioneer in transactions now, and BSC chain is brilliant, and we're so it's a very, very efficient service right now for managing transactions. Yeah, because right now the only transactions are what's going on with the node sale, which is where we're using an economic model that was inspired by Gala chain. So essentially, we're using forefront technology and methodologies, and the entire node sale is we're about to be rewarding our node holders. We currently we have around 7,000 node holders today, and we will start distributing daily rewards from Monday. And so we are essentially using a very, very precise economic model to manage that distribution. And so I think I've gone through everything there. We can step on to the next point of the discussion, which yeah, via the website, it's extremely smooth. We'll also be announcing our token soon, and lots more alpha to come on where to go with that. So we have a set date for July 1st to start distributing rewards, and we're looking for a token listing around August. Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much. That's absolutely awesome. Just like I said, we're going to be talking about your tokenomics, and then we would be touching on some questions from Twitter. So let's have a breakdown of the tokenomics from for AlterVerse, and some of his token utilities as well.
Yes, of course, we can have a look through that. So Um, so in terms of the utility of the token, we will be listing it on exchanges, and also these tokens will be used in the game itself, in all the games that we create. So people will be able to use the token in all the games that they play. We have a game that we're about to announce where there will be a gameplay model where the tokens will be available in the game. We also have plans for the future for other games to also include the use of the tokens. So different games will also be using the same token. And in terms of the tokenomics model, as you know, we've received our Series A in funding, where we raised with the backers. We raised 20 million in funding for our Series A. In our Series B, we raised 30 million. And obviously those tokens are allocated to those early investors. The Series A equates to 10% of the total equity of the project, AlterVerse. The Series B equated to about 6% of token allocation. We were considering a C phrase, but we didn't go for it in the end. But our plans is we've got the 10% of tokens to be released on TG. Obviously, that will have a vesting period. 5% is also allocated for advisors. We have 3% for airdrops. So this will be distributed via airdrops, which we've currently started doing some competitions. So we have early adopters having the chance to receive airdrops. And the rest, which equates to about 60%, will be of the node allocation. This is the current tokenomic model. We do have this information openly available on our Gitbook, where we can maybe I'll jump in the comments of this space of this talk, and I'll leave a link at the bottom of the comments on Twitter where you guys can see the Gitbook, where all this information is openly available for the public. And yeah, this is the current breakdown for token utility, as I mentioned before. Because we have partnerships with pretty top level brands, like we have obviously racing with Mexi, Binance, and Polygon. On top of that, we're also in the metaverse. We can arrange clothing brands as well. So essentially, some of the utilities can be in real world assets as well, and real world not just assets, real world items. Where people will be able to perhaps take part in competitions or even simply exchange their tokens for real world items as part of a sort of merchandise campaign for some of our partners. So, and on top of it, many other prospects. We're very imaginative and extremely creative. The technology is there, and so we're at that phase where we're super excited and we're making loads of plans. So, thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much once again. I would like to talk about the consensus mechanism that your project uses, and
Mm.
how does it actually ensure security and scalability for some of your gaming
Yeah.
applications.
Yeah, because it gives control over to the people, and we really are a firm believer in giving people the right to kind of choose. At the end of the day, it's about differentiating who the end sort of players are and who the builders are. And the idea is that we want to make both happy. We want to make the builders happy, and we want to make the players happy. So what that kind of means is that we want to give builders the opportunity to have a voice into the direction of the entire product, but it needs to be naturally presented in a way that we can all understand. And I think this is one of the things is what's great about what we're doing is that we're keeping things super open, and there's so many great ideas, and we're working with a variety of different projects at the moment to move the full mission forward. But this can only be done with community. We do have an active Discord group, which we invite anybody listening to join our Discord group. We are very active and we discuss the future of AlterVerse and current events. And so it's a really nice place to be. And we'll be sharing a lot of opportunities in there, especially considering that the daily rewards airdrops will be starting from Monday. And a perspective is a great thing, and we want different eyes looking at the project and giving us different ideas and theories on how the future can look for a project like this. We're working with some really great partners, and we're super excited, and we're keen to meet more people. Thank you.
All right, all right. So, moving on now. Just talking about, okay, I think I've actually talked about some of your smart contract. You've actually touched on that. So, let's talk about your game integration now. Like, how are the how a traditional gaming element integrated into
Yeah.
your game, and what feature actually distinguishes your game GameFi project from
Yeah.
traditional centralized games? Yeah.
So, okay, there's still an element of making the game fun and replayable. That's still the Web 2 way of building the games. You still got to have the game theory the same. The differentiator is that the token in the game, or the essentially the barter, the exchange mechanism, that can be exchanged on chain, and thus creating the opportunities to creating unique digital assets, and linking them to a distributed ledger. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to go too much into the technology side of things, but this is an excellent thing, and it provides so many opportunities now with GameFi and deep in. You can create reward mechanisms based on algorithms that work out perfectly, and people enjoy it and understand it. It's extremely transparent. So I think that's a key part there to remember. Um, so we, so yeah, maintain this. Thanks.
Right. Thank you. Uh, so we will be talking on some questions now from uh, from Twitter. So if you're
Right.
ready, but then again, before that, I think I'm sort of scared about something about the because I think you touched on scalability, but I you about the economic model. Did we touch that?
Yeah, it was inspired by the economic model by Gala Chain.
Okay. So how does the project actually collaborate with other blockchain protocols out there,
Yeah.
like some gaming platforms, partnerships, and all that? Yeah.
Yep. We are very closely connected with the blockchain gaming alliance, blockchain game alliance. So we are approaching guilds, but we are taking steps to create new partners and new relationships all the time. We've been on a partnership spree the last few months, and we've been super excited and super bullish. This is the year for building. This is the year for collaborating, and we have some exciting partnerships coming soon. Um, so stay tuned, and you can keep an eye on our Twitter and our Discord, and we're going to have some really exciting things coming. We already have begun our campaigns with through the Binance network, the Binance Labs accelerator, and we have more to come. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, very, very much excited too. A lot in stock for those who seem to to invest in the project, and we have actually done a lot to actually cover some of the vital questions that must have come out of the research. To those of you listening over Binance Live, so we're going to be touching on some questions from Twitter now, and then we would be touching on a few questions that the individuals will be asking from the live segment. So the first question, from Twitter is asking, the first person is asking, um, AlterVerse game offers a variety of games. So could you provide examples of the type of games available on the platform? Additionally, how does AlterVerse game ensure that each game maintains its unique appeal while still aligning with the overall player experience they aim to provide?
Yeah, a lot of that comes from the feedback loop from the players. So this the player testers come in, they provide us regular feedback on the games itself. Currently, we've got Unreal Engine 5 games in development. You can see from our site. You can see game tab, and you can see Night City, which is going to be our debut Unreal Engine, um, which is in production. We also are working with other studios to develop as you can see, Outpost there and Wrecked. So you can see the three games that we're developing there. So these are going to be really exciting opportunities that are going to evolve with time. And we also have several game companies that are developing on the TON network as well. As you can see, whilst we are working closely with Binance Labs and Polygon, we do have the freedom to be working with incredible networks like TON, which are very famous at the moment for Telegram apps and Telegram games. So we're going through the spectrum because yes, there is a demand for Unreal Engine 5 PC games or even mobile games of high graphics quality, but there's also a demand for mobile gaming which isn't graphic intensive and doesn't require huge models. So we want to make sure that we're exploring every aspect, covering mobile, PC gaming, and potentially in the future console. As Web3 expands and the industry expands, we'll have more opportunities to interact into consoles, and perhaps somebody will create a mobile Web3 Steam Deck that people can play Web3 games mobilely on a big screen, and there's controls for it, and it's maybe Solana will bring something like that out, a Solana gaming handheld gaming device. So there's that new market to explore. We've got VR market to explore as well, and there's a lot of people into playing VR, and I think there's over the next few years only more people are going to be engaged with VR, and there's going to be opportunities for VR gaming. So we believe that there is a long future ahead in this space, and these are some of the ideas we're working with at the moment. I just see Rect, it's going for that apocalyptic style. Yeah, thanks.
All right, so we would be moving on now to the next question. Thank you so much for doing justice to that question, by the way.
Sure.
Absolutely amazing question. So the second question, the person is asking, the gaming sector is extremely competitive, and many platforms have had to work very hard to reach the existing user base.
Yeah.
While AlterVerse game already has a certain number of users, how does AlterVerse game keep them along with the project? I think he's trying to talk about long term. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all about being innovative and creative and really exploring new ideas in gaming and really keeping things fresh. He's absolutely right. It's the answers in the question. It's an ever-changing market and it's constantly adapting. Thus, it's always a wise idea to onboard young, sort of bright mind gaming enthusiasts that are just motivated and excited to get involved in gaming projects like this. So it's good to have that's what's so great about the team, is that everyone is super motivated and everyone has a direction, and we all kind of understand what we're working with at the moment, and we're constantly adding new information to our ideas page, our development side of things. I mean, obviously it's a matter of the discussions that we have with our developers. Is what we're asking for is it not realistic? Is it too unrealistic? Are we too far-fetched here? And then sometimes they have to kind of bring us back to earth. And then there's this sort of push, tug of war between the front-facing marketing end of things and what the developers are building and what they have to work on. So this speed aspect is super important, and it's important to have good dynamics, which is why we are collaborating with really high quality dev studios that have shown their ability to create and are certainly ambitious. We understand that what we're going for is ambitious, but we think that it's definitely plausible, given that we're backed by such incredible VCs and such a great network. As you can see here, we've got these fantastic. This is over years. This is over many years. Like we've said, it's been best part of a decade. This project's been around. If you check the time machine, you can look back at the website and see that this project existed before we donned the term metaverse and Web3, and this was a project that really was based on Unreal Engine 4 back in the day. So if you can imagine that far back in history, the concept of an open world space where people can express themselves freely in the digital sphere, a bit like Second Life, and like nowadays modern gaming, which is extremely multiplayer. So yeah, it's a multiplayer environment, and we're trying to keep it and keep that ethos moving forward, and just bringing in Web3 ideologies into the mix, and opening up our doors constantly with new ideas. Nice. I can see you're scrolling through the website. Very cool. So yeah, as you can see, you can join our Discord and join our Twitter. This is our main, servers and main social medias right now. Where we believe that Discord and Twitter is sufficient for the gaming, and it keeps us being able to provide really good information very concisely and regularly, and we can post several times a day, and we regularly do, to ensure that people are fully updated as to the happenings of the space. Our inbox is always open, and we're constantly updating people on what's going on, because we are genuinely super excited. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So moving on now to the next question.
Okay.
So the next person is asking he said AlterVerse game mentions partnerships with Binance Labs. So how do these collaborations shape the future of the platform?
Yeah, it's really great. I mean, right now, obviously, we did Binance News last week. We're doing these Binance live shows, and we're working with our partners to approach the broad audience. So we're working with our partners so that we can have AMAs just like this. We have plans to travel to all the major events. We have a side event coming up in Brussels, which we'll be going to. So we'll be going to ETH Brussels. We have plans to go to Korean Blockchain Week, and we'll also we have an event in Japan as well at the end of July. So we plan to go to all the key events around the world, including Singapore, for Token 2049, ZB Live in London, and ETH Denver again next year. So we have plans to be at every major event around the world, and starting from ETH Brussels next week. So we're super excited to be in real life present, speaking with our partners, and moving things forward, and collaborating. And I think that's a really important aspect, and that's what our partnerships are giving us the ability to do. They're giving us the foot in the door at these events, that we can speak, we can arrange events and sponsor events, and make sure everyone has a good time, and build the community and contribute to the community who are making the effort to travel to all these events. The least we can do is put up a nice little side event so they can enjoy some nice relaxing time, and networking with other like-minded and professionals in Web3 gaming. So we believe that this is a great way to engage with the community, and consistently be at these AMAs and talk shows. But on top of that, there's a lot of things happening in the background. We have a lot of strategies that we're putting in place. We have airdrop opportunities. We've got really fun games and community social games where people can engage in the community and rewards. We've got really awesome things coming up just for that. So it's really exciting there. And the gaming aspects, like I said, we're going to be game very soon, and we're going to really going to keep building and grinding along for this summer. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you once again. We would be moving on now to the next question from Twitter. This question is from Anatoly. Yeah, so we say online games is very difficult to win. Many AlterVerse game, people are often afraid to play games thinking they are going to lose money. So what is the difference? What's the difference? I think you use differential. Okay, what's the differential of the
There's no.
platform, and what is the real chance of winning if I am not a professional player?
Well, this, at the end of the day, the games, they don't require. You don't have to pay to play the games. That's not the requirement. The payment is for the nodes. So that's for the nodes. That's a separate aspect. And that the nodes provide exclusive access to daily rewards, which will be token airdrops, which will be distributing, and also they'll get voting rights and exclusive invites to special events around the world. So this is for the nodes. And for the games themselves, the Sky City will be a free-to-play environment. So you'll still be able to interact with the games for free anyway. But there will be some microtransactions naturally to support the platform, and this will be in the form of skins, maps, and other aesthetic purposes, which makes sense. Yeah.
All right, so guys, as we're slowly moving towards, the live segment, I would oblige you guys to start sending in your questions now because my eyes is currently on the platform. I could see quite a lot of people, but I'm not seeing any questions. So, do well to send your questions, and I'll be asking the last question from the Twitter segment, and then I'll be taking your questions for questions. No. So do want to send in your questions while our guest is asking. We'll be busy answering some of our questions, and so please make sure to join. The follow them on Twitter and also join them on Telegram. Of course, currently we're talking about AlterVerse, so join AlterVerse on Telegram and also make sure to
And
follow them
our
on
Discord
Twitter.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yeah, Discord.
on,
Yeah, jump in.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the Discord and also all the socials currently available, guys. So a lot of opportunities for your questions to be answered. So the last question said, most of the investors have just focused on price of token in short term instead of understanding the real value of the project. So can you tell us on motivations and benefits and value for investors to hold your token in the long term?
Yeah, absolutely. We all know the current gaming industry is about to tenfold, and it's about to expand as more and more as the bull run happens, and as the future process happen, and more people are playing on their phones and playing on their laptops and looking for entertainment. Younger people, as well as the generations flow through, gaming is not going to stop. We love it. We've become so adjusted to it, and it's a fantastic industry and provides a lot of entertainment for a lot of people around the world. And the concept of actually earning through gaming is actually quite. It used to be reserved for very specific people. As if you were good at a game or good at a certain game, you would get paid to do that. I mean, arguably, you can say board games like chess. Some people do make a living from being good at chess, and gaming was just an evolution of that. Yes, there were some people who made a living from being very good at League of Legends. I had a friend of mine who used to grind on RuneScape, create level 50 or level 80 accounts, and he would sell them on. And so people have always been mixing, especially in my lifetime at least, as in their 30s. I've known people who can actually profit from gaming, and there are so many esports companies out there that are looking for gamers, and there are the events and the arenas and the shows, the esports gaming shows are busy and they're excited. Web3 gaming is growing, it's booming, and there's so many things that we haven't even explored yet, that we haven't even touched on, um, um, especially in the mobile and mobile gaming space. So essentially the models are there. Essentially it's a very unique. Web3 offers a sort of specialized profit sharing system that you just wouldn't find in Web2 companies. Imagine Ubisoft redistributing profits to its players that bought, the Assassin's Creed games, where if you own the Assassin's Creed game, that kind of makes you eligible for an airdrop and tokens and things like this. So there are slight things like that happening, but Web3 just makes that so much more seamlessly because of wallet account abstraction and UB and DPIN protocol. So there is a lot you can do to reward wallets who are playing the game, and this unique element. Imagine EA, who instead of charging ridiculous $80 for a FIFA game every year, and it's just a readjusted FIFA game every year. So imagine they're actually profit sharing with their community, and I think that's something that's super special in Web3, and I think more and more projects will need to behave in this manner and have this culture, this element of giving back to the community has to be implemented within their models. So but the games itself, they've got to be innovative and they've got to be fun, and naturally the idea is that there's transaction fees, and that kind of is an avenue for people. If you can create a very transaction heavy environment, it can be really good for the community. Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much once again. So I've gotten the first question now, from the live segment. The first person is asking, is there early adopters bonus in AlterVerse game? And do you have plans for listing tokens on other exchanges?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So we got plans for listed in August, as I mentioned. In terms of who we're, as you can see, we're pretty strong backers, pretty strong network, and we're working with several in several different countries as we're traveling around the world, meeting with our partners. We're going to be we have existing partners through our network that we're working with in in different countries around the world. So it's truly Web3, truly international, and so we're going to be really diving deep into this, and it's going to make it a truly special year. We're building the team out. We're bringing in the people around us, and we're creating a force. And we've got some really amazing things coming, and partnerships, of course.
Okay, so the next question, what are the benefits of long-term investments? Yeah, this is the second question. I think we've touched on that before, but let's just shed more light on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give financial advice, so I'm not. I'm going to make that clear. This is not CMO. I'm head of marketing. I'm not here. I'm not coming in as a financial CFO part of the project. I'm CMO. My job is marketing. My job is to present the project in its best light. And so, in terms of long-term investment, it's a long-term investment into gaming. If you believe gaming is the future, if you believe in it, and you went through playing those sleepless nights, grinding through Final Fantasy, and you know what it's like to play games, and you understand the culture and what an impact it's had over the last 20 years. So if you're someone who understands that, then obviously gaming is going to make sense to you. It is a niche industry, so I understand that some people need to look at it with a critical eye, and we totally respect that. Do your own research. At the end of the day, we believe that this is going to be a really important project in the Web3 gaming space over the next 2 years. We think we've got things that our competitors don't have, and it could be just a very unique spice to the team and the makeup and the way in which people operate and the speed in which these people operate and the motivation. A lot of us, especially, it's not monetary motivation. We generally are building something incredible for the future. And feel free to check out our Twitter. I'm also on Twitter. Feel free to follow myself and join us in the Discord channel. And we can continue the conversation and help us build the AlterVerse of the future.
All right, guys. We have taken that question for now. I think we can see a lot of people trying to make. Although our plans is to take
Lovely.
about five questions, so we have taken only two questions, guys. So before we get the third question, let's just take a walk down your roadmap and get a summary of what you guys are currently working on right now.
Okay. So yeah, we've got daily rewards launching next in July. August, you're looking at a token listing. September is going to be a very bullish marketing. So from September till Christmas, with a lot of nativity and so local. Obviously, during that time, you've got to really push the marketing out there and making sure there's themed events. We'll be traveling all over the world from Japan to Korea to London and to Singapore. So we'll be traveling all over to Dubai. We've got Brussels. So that's going to be this period of time of really working with our partners in many different countries and beyond that. So essentially, it's about focusing on building with our developers and our creator and really building the creator economy and the creator community, but also the players. So and a lot of that's going to merge between the two. You're going to have people joining both communities. You're going to have the builders and the players and interacting with each other. But like we're a gaming platform. So our focus is on the games to make sure that we're creating good quality games and we're distributing it. And really, it's something that the Web3 gaming industry are looking for. So this is on the massive agenda for this year. And so, yeah, after listed on exchanges, we'll be looking at constant expansion, constantly building, and have a really fantastic time doing it. Join. Thank you.
All right, so moving on, getting on to the third question from the live segment. Say, how will users actually earn from your project? We touched on that, but then again, let me,
We have,
yeah, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we have touched on it. Like we mentioned, the node holders will receive daily rewards and other specialized perks and bonuses, and also developers. So if you're building on the game, you're building items on the project, then obviously that there will be a creative economy for your digital assets in the game, and we will help with distribution. And if there's any sort of specific partnerships within our network, we also will facilitate that as well. Network is super important. Your reach is really important in this industry, and so we want to make sure that we're working very closely and make sure working very efficiently with our partners. So
All right, so thank you so much. I think with this, just except I get more questions, but essentially the questions that are coming in are questions that we have already answered. So
yeah,
thank you so much,
we've
guys,
gone through a lot
for
today, haven't we?
the yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
thank
So
you.
um, we would like you to actually give us a conclusion, maybe to touch on some of those things that we haven't already covered.
Yeah, so we've touched on a lot of things today. We've explored a lot, and I know it's a lot of information to take in. Just to put it in a nutshell, gaming is Web3 gaming is inevitable. It's coming, and the reason why we've set such an ambition of building such a diverse game set is because chaos breeds creation, and we want to be totally open, and we believe that the future with AI technology, blockchain technology, we believe that people will have their own game and they'll be able to play any game that they can think of, and they'll be able to perhaps even use voice control to create any game they like. And the technology is getting there, and we're super excited for the leaps in technology the next few years will be. And so, yeah, and I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the show today. I hope that everything we've said has been quite clear. If you'd like more information regarding the nodes, feel free to check out our website. We have a dedicated page within Facebook, which also includes all the tokenomics. And feel free to reach out to myself via Twitter, Telegram, and even in the Discord channel. So yeah, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for having me today.
All
Thanks,
right. So
Tim.
on behalf
Thanks,
of
Tim, for
Crypto
hosting.
Attack, yeah, on behalf of Crypto Attack, we want to say a very big thank you. So we've essentially answered some questions from the live segment as well. 4 questions from the live segment. So thank you so much, guys, for those
Great questions
questions,
today.
and also the questions also from Twitter. And
Thank you.
I really want to say a very big thank you, Mr. Andy, for taking time out to answer all the questions from
Thanks, Tim.
from my end, because I actually did some research myself. So
Yeah,
yeah, so
anytime. Yeah.
so send a shout out to your team. We would like to host you guys once again, maybe on a different platform where we would have our guests actually asking live questions from their mics. So essentially, I believe those guys are actually happy that I took their questions. I believe that you guys are also a part of the Telegram group, so you can also participate in the rewards. So have a very good day, and I wish you the very best.
Have a wonderful day, everybody. Have a great day, and have a great weekend. Take care for now. Andy, CMO of AlterVerse, over and out.
All
Bye.
right, bye bye.